Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Two Beers, One Movie. We're going to do my top 20 MCU movies, Marvel movies, whatever, of all time. But anyway, let's get into my ranking on the first. Part 1. So, number 20 is Captain Marvel, starring Brie Larson, a young Samuel L. Jackson. CGI is actually quite good in the de-aging. It was okay. It was not bad. It was generic. It was okay. Next up is Thor, the original Thor. I find Thor to be a really, really good character. I find Loki to be a really, really good character. Really looking forward to seeing Jane in the new Thor. This was okay. It had some really good spots. This it felt like MCU was still in its early stages of finding its feet. But next up is Ant-Man and Wasp. Ant-Man and Wasp was the follow-up to Ant-Man, obviously. It was okay. Again, generic. Follow on the set from the Force, which the Force was pretty good. The second was pretty generic. There's no more really to say on that one. Next up is 17, Spider-Man Far From Home. Far From Home felt like one of them filler films. A bit like Ant-Man and Wasp, actually. They felt like filler films. Like them, them TV series that they have so many episodes, like The Walking Dead or whatever. And they just have these filler episodes in between, shit happens, but then maybe end of the episode something actually happens that kind of progresses the narrative along to get to the next episode. This kind of feed, like the likes of Ant-Man and Spider-Man No Way Home, they kind of felt like that, but I enjoyed them because Spider-Man's a great character and Peter Parker's a great character. Tom Holland's really good at playing Spider-Man and Peter Parker, but this just felt like a filler episode. Let's get Jake Gyllenhaal in here. Let's just kind of mourn Iron Man, Tony Stark. We'll fill this up and then we'll push it at the very end, leaving us at that cliffhanger to get into No Way Home. Next up is Black Panther. Black Panther really kind of changed the style for comic book movies. Obviously, it had a lot surrounding it, and it really was progressive. It was diverse, which is always really good in any type of industry, not just film. I really thought that that kind of narrative around the diversity and the change really kind of took away from the movie almost. It was almost like the movie was secondary and this was the main subject, where like Black Panther's a great character. T'Challa's a great character, and it really felt like, and I had a great villain. I had an awesome villain, Killmonger. Andy Serkis is in it, and he's fucking amazing and everything. I really did enjoy most of it, especially the first half when it's in Wakanda, because then it gets to be one of them Marvel movies where it's gone all around the world and stuff. But when it's in Wakanda and you have that kind of African vibe to it, I felt different, and then it just twists it back to be that normal Marvel movie. But it was good. Number 15 is Iron Man 3. Iron Man 3 had a really good villain as well, in my opinion, and Guy Pearce. Guy Pearce is a great actor, so Tony Stark is facing his demons. It was good. Again, it felt like another filler. Like, I know Tony Stark's an amazing character, Robert Downey Jr. is brilliant. This kind of felt like another filler, a push on to the next stage in the universe, which is not really a bad thing. It's still a good movie, obviously. Number 14 is Ant-Man. I thought the original Ant-Man was quite good. It was different. Like Iron Man before, I really didn't know much about Ant-Man before it actually came out. Like, you probably heard them just like before the movies came out, but I never really took notice of it. And it was good. The original poster I remember seeing was the plain white wall and just like the little small Ant-Man. I thought that was really, really good, really clever. Like Scott is a really, really good character. Hank Pym is really, really good. The villains in both Ant-Mans are really bad. Like, they're really, really bad villains. And when you have a bad villain, like, what's the point? Next up is SpiderMan Homecoming at number 13. It is not so lucky, but lucky. So yeah, SpiderMan Homecoming felt like a bit like a teenage rom-com set in the high school. Not high school set rom-coms. Not the not the sexual ones like American Pie. More like Breakfast Club and 16 Candles, like John Hughes type, and it really worked. It was really good. The inclusion of Tony Stark here really works as well, and it really sets the tempo of Spider-Man being a teenager and trying to overcome that to find out who he actually is and not let the suit define him, and I really, really enjoyed it. Number 12 is Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 had a really, really difficult job of following up one of the greatest Marvel movies in my opinion, one that really surprised me in Guardians of the Galaxy. The gang are back, the gang are amazing. It has some quick, witty, fun humour. It has Kurt Russell, Kurt Russell's just fucking awesome and everything, isn't he? Like, yeah, I love him in all his movies, even in the Quentin Tarantino ones, as you can see here. But it just didn't really live up to the hype. Well, not the hype, it's very hard to live up to the original. Sometimes you might get the sequels that are just as good, but maybe it kind of falters on what made the original good, and you're never ever going to capture that anyway, but it still has some funny laughs in it. Number 11 is Avengers Age of Ultron. I thought this got a really bad rep. I quite enjoyed it. There's some cool moments in this. The lifting of the hammer with all the team is amazing, and it introduces us to Wanda. We get Vision. Is this the filler Avengers? That's what people call it. Quite possibly it is the filler Avengers, but it's not terrible. I quite liked it. Next up, oh, that is not next up. That is my 20 to 11. So the next part we're going to see 10 to 1. Obviously, I can count. But please like, subscribe, and I will catch you on the next episode. And also comment below if you disagree, agree, if you think I'm talking bullshit, because as I've always mentioned, I do talk a whole lot of bullshit. So please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in part 2.